Hello, people. Well, a lot of you have been requesting this. I said I was going to do this a long time ago, but I never really got around to it. I'm going to go ahead and do a tour, a room tour, of my other room. That's what I've decided to call this. As you know, as a lot of you know, both my parents are divorced, so I do have two houses. So this is the secondary one. This is the one I don't usually make videos at, like, ever. But I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of months ago I told you due to personal circumstances that I'd rather not like to discuss, I was going to be staying over here for an extended amount of time. I will be going back, to the regular schedule eventually, but that's nowhere near soon. A lot of you are interested in seeing what this room looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and finally give you guys a tour. I've lived at this house for 3 years and I've never done a tour of the room over here. So I think it's finally, it needs to be done. As you can see, the room is quite larger than my other place. And this is the whole upstairs of the house. Like, the downstairs is, down there. And then, I'm obviously upstairs, so my car's parked right down there. But, I'm on the top of the house. This is the actual roof. So, everything is triangular. And yeah, you don't really have a lot of vertical wall space, so it's big in here, but it's not that big. Like, if the walls were, or if the ceiling was flat, I would have a ton of room, but I really don't. Anyway, yeah, it's quite larger than my other room. My other room is probably like maybe 2/3 of just this part. So, anyway, yeah, here we go. We're going to start right here. I'll start here, I'll work my way around there, then I'll go through here, the closet, then I'll go over here, then I will finally go into the computer room. So, we're going to start right here. Here we have my bed. This is where I sleep, obviously. And there is a little nightstand with a couple of things on it. I mean, I got my keys. That's an alarm clock. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. This is called a clocky alarm clock. Basically, if you snooze it more than once, it will jump off the nightstand, run around the room, and you have to go and find it and turn it off to get up. Obviously, I have that feature disabled because at 5:30 a.m. I really don't have time for that. There's a TV remote. There's a couple of other just little random things. There's a little light. Those are my retainers. There we have my school backpack. That's not usually here, but, as like I said, I'm kind of living over here more now, so a lot of my stuff's going to be over here. But yeah, as you can see, there's my bed. It is a double-sized bed, whatever the hell you call it, like a twin bed, or no, it's not a twin. A twin's like a single. I don't know what the hell you call it, but yeah, there it is. Back there is a bunch of childhood-ish stuff. There's an old TV back there too. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's what I used to use before I got that TV, but we'll get into that all stuff. That's a train set. That's another little thing. There's a bunch of childhood stuff around here, just as a forewarning. There is my cat's kennel. There's my dog's crate. Back there's a bunch of other random crap. I don't really want to go through all that stuff, but there it is. Right here we have my clothes hamper, along with a chested drawer type thing, and then there's a couple of just older stuff. There's a giant eye dog. I used to be obsessed with eye dogs when I was like 10, and so, I had a bunch of eye dogs. I used to buy all of those. Oh, we have Korean money. Yeah, I don't know why this is here, but there it is. There's a bunch of other random crap. Don't really feel like going through. Drawers, whoa. I have not looked in here for like a year, so I don't know what's in these drawers. Just a bunch of junk. Looks like, old toys and stuff I never touch anymore. There is a TV tray. And we have this little table type thing. All it has on it is a vintage glass bottle. I found this in the ditch that's actually on the other side of the house out there. This is from Globe Mills, California. So this was like a grain mill, I believe. So there's a bottle from it. Kind of cool. Then we have a little old alarm clock there. It's currently 1:30. Then we have the remote for my entertainment system. I hardly even use this stuff anymore. But here we have the hookup. It's converted from RCA to 3.5, so I can play my iPhone on that if I do so desire. I hardly do, though. Here we have a Philips CRT TV. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there it is. I think it's like a 22-inch or something. Down there we have a Comcast Xfinity box and the DVD player that goes with the home theater system. Down there is a bunch of old TV remotes for things I don't even own anymore. Down there is a bunch of wires. There is the subwoofer. I am not sure how, how many watts this whole thing is. It's made by MTS, which stands for Millennium Theater System. Part of me thinks that a few years ago, my dad got scammed by that white van speaker scam things, and this is probably one of them. I've played music on it. It doesn't sound too bad, so whatever. I got it for free. We did get a new entertainment system, so that's why I have this. And then we have two of these, like, 1950s style light holders on each side. Oh, and I forgot to do the wall. There's a calendar, which is horrendously out of date. It is February 2014, so that just goes to show how often I pay attention to stuff around here. There's a little, mirror, and there's an old license plate. Yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of stuff from my childhood. These, oh man, these are my homework rings. When I was in the 3rd grade, my teacher used to have these little things where if you did your homework, you would get a ring. And at the end of the year, whoever got the most rings got some sort of prize or something. So there's mine. Yeah. Anyway, going over here, there's another dresser. Over here, there is a magnificent light bulb collection. These are all the old incandescent light bulbs I have since replaced with CFLs. As you can see here, these are daylight 6500K CFLs. So all of the bulbs up here in my room are CFLs now. They're not incandescents anymore. So I do not like soft white light. I like the daylight, bright white, like sunlight, basically. That's why they call it daylight. But yeah, I do not like 3000K color temperature. I like more 6000 because it makes everything look more modern, I guess you could call it. There's clothes in there, and then over here there's a bunch of junk I have not touched since we moved in. So yeah, back there's another TV. This is an old chair. We got this when we moved in. This is a very, very old chair. This house was built in 1905, and I believe this chair was built from the extra wood that was used to build this house. So it's a very old chair, and as you can see, it used to be green. Pretty cool. Still works as a chair, but yeah, there it is. It kind of just sits. As you can see here, we have another bed. It has a bunch of old stuffed animals and stuff on here. Again, haven't touched those since I was like 8 or 9, or since we moved in, 3 years ago. There is a just a cover on here because I don't even know what the bedspread looks like. Okay, yeah, that's unattractive. That looks old. I don't really like looking at that, so I just have a green blanket over everything. I got this thing just about Humane Society and stuff. I don't really use this. I mean, if I'm watching TV, this is usually where I'll sit because there's a wall to lean up against. Can't really do that over here. So I kind of just sit here. I never sleep in this. But yeah, there's my dog's collar. Yeah, his name's Lucas. He's in the other room. Over here we have just a extension cord with my iPhone charger on the end. There's my lightning cable for my iPhone. Right there is an outlet, obviously, with a night light on it. There's a switch for this light here, so you can turn that off. And yeah, the closet is full of just older shirts and stuff. And then on the other side, oh, there's a bunch of toys and stuff down there. And then on the other side, there's boxes that I still have not unpacked 3 years later. I just don't have any room for that stuff. Those are old toys and stuff I don't play with or use anymore. I'm 16 now, so I don't really play with Legos and, Hot Wheels anymore. So that's where they sit for now. I might donate those to Goodwill or something soon. But going over here, this is kind of just a little thing. That shelf is very old. I actually, for my long-time viewers, and I'm talking long time, I did a video where I found some old footage of my room when I was like 9 years old, and I put it up on the internet, and this table was in it. Yeah, my older viewers will remember that, but yeah, there you go. There's a smoke alarm. This is a Mitsubishi, whatchamacallit, it's a brochure. I decided to put it on the wall for some reason. I'm actually going to take my car in and get that done, I don't know, maybe next week sometime. That's an old, I don't know what the hell you call this, like a scroll or something. There it is. Over here, we have a clock. We have some NHRA drag racing stuff. We have some cars here. I have not touched this stuff in a long time, as you can see by the dust on everything. Newton's cradle. Ooh. Science. Anyway, moving on. Over here, we just have a little dresser. Well, no, just like a little table thing. That's a $2 bill. Kind of interesting. Some old watches, some other older stuff. There's just a bunch of rocks. Down here we have an old Royal typewriter. That's from like 1945. Kind of cool. And then right here, that's just a box of magazines. Guys don't really need to see that. Just, you know, they're just old magazines. Who the hell cares, right? Going over here, we have just a blanket and a couple jackets hanging on this old railing here. And, yeah, that is about it. There's a couple pictures on the wall down there, but they're family pictures. Don't really want to show that on the internet, you know. That is about it. That is the tour of this side. Yeah, we're already on 11 minutes. This video is going to be quite long. Moving over here, this is my computer room. As you can see on the door, I have a little sign. I did this, like, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago. Kind of funny, I guess. You know, old door. It's pretty creaky. So this place is old, just so you guys know. And yeah, okay, I guess I'll enter now. Here is my computer room. I'll go ahead and give you a quick, you know, pan through before I actually do the in-depth tour. So, going around. Okay, so we are going to start over here, and then we'll work our way around just how I did it. So this is a desk I built about a year ago. This is just a spare desk. I needed another desk in this room, so I built this one out of plywood and 2x4s. As you can see, it works. You know, it's quite sturdy too. I mean, it's a hard on what? Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Here we have my iPad mini. I don't really use this a whole lot. I use it for school mainly, so it's kind of where it sits right now. This is an older compact Brazerio laptop. You guys, my older viewers, again, will remember a video about this. I've had this for like about a year now, I think. So, yeah, there's an older, well, there's a home phone over there. Over here, there's a bunch of bullcrap, you know. And then in those drawers, there are wires, cables, and stuff I don't really want to show. Over there, just, you know, some wires, a couple of printers. Back there's some boxes, an old dog bed. There is a office chair, which is supposed to be over here, but, you know, I don't really sit over here that much. Here's my dog. This is Lucas. Hi, buddy. How you doing? He's sitting right here because he likes the heater. This is an old Lakewood oil-style heater, 1500 watts. Keeps this place quite warm. I really like it, and so does the dog, apparently, because he's laying right there. Here we have my keyboard. A couple of years ago, I took up, you know, learning to play the piano. Didn't really go as planned. I completely forgot everything I learned. I can hardly play that anymore. There's a guitar, which I was going to learn to play, but I kind of never did. So I have two instruments I don't know how to play. So if I ever take like guitar or piano in high school, maybe I'll use those. Going over here, this is kind of just a bunch of computer hardware stuff. There is a printer which is actually plugged in and functional, so it's cool. And then back there we have an IBM ThinkPad T21. Going in here, there is a bunch of old mice, as you can see, both serial and PS2. In there's a couple old hard drives. There's a processor in that box. Some old RAM, optical drive. There's an old Pentium 2 back there. So this is mainly older computer hardware stuff. So, yeah, it takes a little muscle to close the drawer too. There we go. In here, again, older stuff. There's a power supply from an old Dell Dimension. I pulled a bunch of cards in here. Again, down here, a bunch of wires and stuff that I don't really touch anymore. Oh, this is cool. I forgot about this. This is an old modem. It's quite vintage. I believe this is only like a 14.4 kilobits per second modem. I'm not going to open it up just, you know, because I don't really feel like it. Maybe I'll do a video about that if you guys are interested. Yeah, there is an old everything's old. I should just stop saying old at this point. There's a propane heater, which we don't really use, because we don't buy propane tanks. This is an AC adapter. Oh, it's for the ThinkPad. Going over here, table with my Indigo iMac G3 on it, which is currently non-functional, at least on the software side. I did a video where I killed the operating system basically, so I have to reinstall OS X, but I'm getting kind of lazy lately, and I don't really want to do that. My install discs are at my other house, and I keep forgetting to go over there and pick them up, so yeah, it kind of just sits there for now. And then this is the Apple Pro keyboard and the Pro mouse, so, you know, there it is. Down here we have some textbooks. These are my biology and algebra textbooks. Here it is. Down there's an old PS2 Slim. There's a bag with a couple of things in it. There's a towel the dog used to lay on when I didn't have a bunch of bullshit crap on it. But, you know, yeah. This is my main desk, at least for now. I have my Intel Pentium-based budget build on here. This is where this has been, in case you guys were wondering. That's where it is. I have a video on this of my older channel, but yeah, a lot of you should know what this is. It's a Pentium. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, a HD 6670, I think. It's got a 40 gig hard drive, which I really need to replace. And yeah, I can go in depth, but yeah, screw it. Here is my phone. This is an iPhone 5S, 32 gigabyte. There it is, you know, in a case. Oh, there's something inside the case. Oh wait, maybe that's on. Okay, yeah, that's on the outside. Never mind. There is a dime. It's glued to the desk, literally. I don't know why I did this, but a while ago I glued a dime to my desk, so that is never coming off. So, yeah, kind of weird. There's my wallet. I don't really want to show that because, you know, personal shiz. Going over here, there is a cup full of pencils, scissors, and stuff. There's a stapler, a pencil sharpener, a little calculator, some earphones, and then of course there's a window right behind my desk. I don't really care. I can kind of look outside from there, but yeah, anyway. Going over here, we have a 20-inch Dell monitor. This is a 1600 by 1200 monitor. And yeah, it's quite nice. This is an ultra sharp, I don't know, I forget the model number. I think it's like a 2002 FP or something. An old IBM rubber dome keyboard. This is a really good rubber dome keyboard, I must say. I've had this thing for years, but it's what I choose to use. It's my best keyboard I have over here. Over here we have a Logitech M110, you know, wired laser mouse. Obviously a mouse pad there. Back there we have my old Insignia speakers. That's where they went after I got my new audio setup. They've been here ever since. In there, well, below the monitor there's a couple mini USB cables. And then we have my 320 gig external hard drive. And yeah, that's my computer setup. That is mainly what I've been using for the past, I don't know, month or so. Going up here, we have a couple of Beanie Babies, tissue, tape, some books, a printing calculator, a tool set, and yeah, that's about it. Everything else kind of irrelevant, so there it is. But up there is a clock, so, you know, it kind of stopped. I need to replace the batteries in that thing, but yeah, screw it. Down there is a, you know, the Insignia subwoofer. There is a bunch of wires and crap. There's a Tix clock that never worked. Remember when those were the shit like 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah, mine died 30 minutes after I took it out of the box. Tried to get a warranty replacement. Didn't really happen. Up here we have some random bullcrap I really need to go through and clean. There's an old camera. I used to use this thing full time, so yeah, there it is. Down here, oh, there's the actual clock. Yeah. Remember when these were the shit? Yeah, mine never worked. I tried to get it to work, but I took it apart. Yeah, there's not really any way you can get this thing to work, so just sits there for now. Wow. Excellent way to keep RAM, guys. Trust me. Over here, they have a small filing cabinet. This is like a baby one, but yeah, that's that. Up here, kind of just files and other random bullcrap. Here's an extremely blight, yeah, that's a word. An extremely bright Duracell flashlight. I mean, like, it's extremely bright. It also has a strobe, kind of cool. There it is. We have a 1 GB flash drive. This is just like a spare drive. It's actually the biggest drive I have over here. Kind of sad. Microfiber cloth, carabiner, a pocket knife, a couple business cards for les peoples. SD card reader, that's what that is. And then yeah, there's a bunch of old files in there. There is a calendar, again, another one. And yeah, again, it is out of date. It is February. I suck at updating the calendar. Back there, by the way, there is a thermostat. You can kind of see it. I mean, not really, but there it is. And there is a light fixture. I forgot to mention that one, but you guys should know that. Oh, and I forgot to mention this picture. That is a, you know, a light up picture. What does that mean? Well, I'll show you. There you go. See? Wait, let me turn this down. There you go. See? It lights up. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. Who cares? Going on, there is, ooh, this is interesting. I forgot about this. We have little doors that open to, you know, the empty areas of the house. I have one over there too, but it's behind that bed, so can't really get access to it. But basically, if you go in here, this is basically the top of the kitchen, so there's a bunch of old crap in here. Ooh, spider webs up the 8. Whoa, there's a lot of spider webs in there. Yeah, as you can see, I never really go in here because it's kind of unsafe. You can kind of see the insulation down there for the kitchen ceiling. There's a vent out there to the outside world. And yeah, I really never go in here. So that's that. Going back there, that is part of the, you know, stove, or the, you know, like the wood stove downstairs that goes all the way up out the house. Like I said, this is the roof, so there it is. But basically, I get heat from there. Back there, yeah, there's a shitload of bags of water bottles. We recycle water bottles, but, you know, I'm kind of lazy, so I kind of just pile them all up back there in bags. Yeah, I know. Don't judge people, don't worry. There is a computer bag there. And then, right here, here's an old kitchen cabinet. We actually pulled this from our kitchen before we remodeled it. And yeah, there it is. This is our old microwave, again, from our old kitchen before we remodeled. Well, I just realized that I showed something confidential. Yay, I gotta cut that part out of the video. Okay, anyway, here is an NVIDIA sticker on the cabinet, as you can see. Going in here, there is just a bunch of magazines and shite. That's really it. Going in here, there is a Dell Inspiron 8100, I think. This is an older Inspiron laptop. The hard drive's dead in it, so it doesn't really work at the moment. I've been too lazy to buy a new hard drive for it just because I have more expensive, or more important things to spend my money on these days. Back there's a couple boxes down there. There's another laptop that's also broken. It has dead RAM. I don't really feel like buying new RAM for it because it's a special proprietary thing and it costs a lot of money. And it's a crappy Toshiba. I don't really care about that. So that is the cabinet. So there it is. Next to that, we have a trash can. Yeah, the bag is like twice as big as it needs to be. YOLO, right? Going over here, we have, yeah, you can see more of those bags there. Oh, and behind the microwave, we have a little power strip. There is a fan. There's an old keyboard. This is my old computer case. I kind of, you know, don't use it anymore because it's a piece of shit. Going over here, there's my old monitor, kind of broken, so yeah. There's a keyboard, that does work, that's just there. Going over here, this is kind of cool. These are my vintage Macs. This is a Macintosh TV. It's basically an LC520, but, you know, it's the Macintosh TV model. This is a highly rare vintage computer. Mine does work, but it has no operating system on it, so can't really use it. I'm still working on trying to get it to read a floppy disk, so we'll see. Going down there, we have a Apple Desktop Bus keyboard and the Apple Desktop Bus mouse. I think it's, I don't know what the hell it's called, but yeah, there it is. There is my Macintosh SE. This is fully functional. It runs System 7.0.5, I think. It has a bunch of old vintage software on it. Really cool. I found this at the dump back in 2011, so kind of cool. Fully functional. Going over here, this is a 12-inch PowerBook G4. This is also functional, but it's in pretty rough shape. I did do a video about this, so most of you will remember it on a small table thingy. Over here we have more computers. This is an old HP Pavilion. I don't even think that thing's functional anymore. It might work. I don't know. I haven't tested it. Well, I haven't tested it in a long time anyway. There is a old custom built, well, an old custom built from 1996. This has, oh, I even wrote the specs right on the thing, so there it is. Going over here, we have more computers. Yay, these are Dell Optiplex machines. This is my Dell Optiplex GX110. This was one of my very first computers, and I really love this thing. That's what's currently plugged in here, so yeah. Going over here, this is my Dell Optiplex GX260 with a hunk of shit P4. This is really a shit box. I don't know why I still have it. Yeah, kind of crappy. Going down here, we have a couple floppy disk thingies. There's some CD cases back there. Some other stuff over there. You know, not really that important, I guess. And yeah, that is completely it. Well, there's a light fixture right here, by the way. You know, obviously. There it is. And then there is another calendar, and then there is a light switch. So that's it. Oh, and forgot this. There is a poster. It's, you know, kind of cool. Remember when, you know, PC manufacturers used to include this stuff? I hung it on the wall because it's kind of cool. There it is, guys. There is the whole setup. It's pretty big and exciting, I guess. There it is. There is my entire room in one video. This video is quite long. I don't know how long it is. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be on the upwards of 25 minutes or so, but there it is. There is my entire room. So, yeah, I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for commenting, rating, and subscribing and all that good stuff. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. And, yeah, I will see you guys later.